Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing today? How's everyone doing? Hope someone had a good day. Everyone is having a good day. This is obviously the live stream for tonight, which is more than sound. We're ready, cracked, and ready to go. We've done a -4 this week, by the way, everyone. We have brought in Grealish and Salah for Maddison and Rashford for a -4. Mainly, generally, just because I think Salah's going to get quite a big haul versus Leeds. I'll need him for 32 for Forest to the captaincy. I'm going to bring him in anyway, so I might as well bring him in this week. And I think Grealish for Rashford really is okay for a -4, as Grealish got Leicester, he could make those points back up easily. I don't really want to play Watkins this week. I'm not feeling it. I think Newcastle will keep a clean sheet, so I'm probably not going to play Watkins this week, which a lot of people will play him, so it's a bit of a punt me not playing him, as I'd need Darwin to return big. I've got Shaw playing versus Forest at the minute. The reason I'm not playing Watkins generally because I want double Newcastle clean sheet, because if Shaw doesn't play, I'm going to want that Botman clean sheet, and but if Shaw does play, which I think he will, then there's those attacking assists and those goal threat routes, and he could easily come away with a big 15-12 pointer in that game if he decides to pop off. Some of my reasoning behind keeping Shaw. The debation of whether I'm going to double up on Brentford assets or double up on the Newcastle, the Man United assets is different at the minute, because I could go Raya. I'm very tempted to go Raya over here, but I'm probably not going to do it. The only reason being is generally, when you look at it, like, it's just mad how many saves he makes each game. It's just mental. Like, he gets quite a few saves, but then De Gea gets saves too. I mean, versus Forest, he's not going to have a lot to work with, is he? But he could come away with 4 saves, isn't it? 4-3 saves, clean sheet. Trippier could come away with an assist, hopefully. He's had an assist recently, hasn't he? As far as I'm aware. Yeah, he had one versus us, that was right. And then he had one there, so he has been picking up assists. But it's not really that much of a difference. Where it's like Botman versus Henry, but Rico Henry picked up an assist last week, so I just know if I bench him again, he's gonna do something. Tough times though. Tough times to try and decide what I'm gonna do or who I'm going to go with, but yeah, we'll see. We'll have to see what's going on. But we'll see. At the moment, we'll work and everything. Hello to anyone who just joined, welcome. Man. God, these moves are a pain this week. We've done the -4 now. I need Grealish to return, man. Some people contemplate, saying he might not start. I was thinking, jeez, I've just done a -4 to bring him in. I think he's going to haul versus Leicester. I think I could see Grealish getting a goal and assist and just returning my points back with bonus. Haaland doing nicely. Couple of goals here and there. Nice little return versus Leicester. Salah and Darwin to do well, I think. Which is why I played Darwin over Watkins. I think Darwin's going to have one of his weeks where he does come back and return for me. And I think I've bought him in long term for 32 as well. And I still think he's a better pick than Kane this week as a punt for me, because I think he could easily return versus Leeds. March, mate, I'm loving March. Gotta say, loving March right now. I think he's been phenomenal, and I'm annoyed that I benched him last week. So I wasn't going to at first, and then someone told me to play McAllister over him, which is why I should not listen to other people, to be honest. We went with it, but Yeah, it wasn't truly worth it in the end because of that. It was annoying. Well, I tried to play all three players, bench Nunes. I kind of wish I did. Because I think he only picked up, like, what, 1 point? Or did he play full game for 2 points? Something like that. He didn't pick up a lot. We're just waiting, everyone. We're waiting on everyone. But yeah, I know. There's a lot going on this week, to be honest. There's that many moves that are going on, -4s, transfers, knee jerks. There's just so much going on. And this is going to be one of those weeks, I think, where it might actually just be one of those weeks that just flops. Like, I think Haaland, Grealish, Salah and Darwin will return. The rest of my team's just going to have a floppy week. Apart from De Gea maybe and Shaw at the start. If Shaw starts then, yeah. De Gea's obviously nailed. De Gea could come away with 3 bonus points though with Rashford not there, and it's going to like just be a 1-0, 2-0 to us. But I just think with Maguire in the back and Malacia, there's going to be some cock-ups again, because last night was a mockery. 2 own goals, 84 and 92 minute was what? What is going on? Well, it was 90 plus 2, but what was going on? Let's put it quite frankly, it was a mockery to football itself. To score 2 own goals, you know, that late in the game, I just thought, what the hell is going on? And it was Harry Maguire, that's common, but Tyrell Malacia to score an own goal, you know, that never happens. Martinez has come off injured. Martial probably won't start on the weekend because, again, you've got to ease him back into fitness. I just think he's not guaranteed 90 minutes anymore, and he'll be sold because he picks up too many injuries. He's a great player, phenomenal, scores banging goals, but he just picks up too many injuries. That is the problem with Martial. He just picks up injuries, and it's massive for me when a player keeps picking up injuries. It's kind of an incline to say, look, get rid of him. He's constantly injury prone. He's always injured. He's still worth a hefty price tag of like 70, 80 mil. Flog him. Get him gone while you can. You know, don't be leeching on to players you're not going to want in the next 5 years, because it's a pointless thing to do. And I just think it's ridiculous. And anyone who does do it, I've got no respect for, because I just think it's daft. It's uncanny as well. I just think, yeah, what's going on, eh? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The one makes it even worse, like half the time as well, is when you've got loads of players, people telling you to go for like these certain players all the time. It's ridiculous. You know, oh, this player's good, this player's start, sell this player quickly. And there's so many people, right, who give you random bad advice just to try and make themselves look better. It does my head in. Like, honestly, it does my nutting. Like, I'll tell you advice I can, but I'm not going to turn and say, oh, yeah, definitely make that move, or definitely do this. Because at the end of the day, right, I don't know, statistically speaking, right, I can't predict the future, who's going to go and score, I don't know, 2 goals, 3 goals, or someone who's not going to score. Do you know what I'm saying? I cannot control that. I do not know that. I will never be able to know that. So I'm just going to go with what I know and try and predict games the best way I can, which is just through my football knowledge, which is quite a lot. So that's the only really way I can go around it. We'll have to see though. Flipping week we had, man. There's been that many headaches this week, you know. That many headaches. It's been just ridiculous. I think the worst of it all is, at the minute for me, is freaking Klopp rotation, Liverpool, City rotation. I hate the lot of it. I think it's all ridiculous. And anyone who keeps rotating players I want to start is just a moron. Bloody day though today. Need De Gea to pop off, man. Just big 10-pointer for De Gea. Big 6 saves, and get a 9-pointer. Or something stupid like that. Was it every 2 saves, isn't it? Or was it every 4 saves? No, every 2 saves you get a point, yeah. So, you get 6 saves, gets a clean sheet, 9 points. Shawgoes gets an assist, gets bonus, whacks up a 15-pointer. Do you know what I mean? That would just be the key scenario for me. Shawgoes getting a 6, 15-pointer. De Gea, 9-pointer, 2 bonus points. There's 11. Do you know what I mean? Just racking up mad points and then flipping Trippier. Yeah, I don't really give to what he does because everyone's got him. Henry goes and returns a goal or assist or something daft would be lovely. Possibly a clean sheet. Grealish, Haaland are going to pop off. That's a given. Salah, Nunez. Salah's definitely going to pop off. I could see a 20-15 pointer coming for Salah. I think McAllister, Matoma and March out of the 3. I'd back Matoma and March to get returns. And McAllister obviously on penalty, so he's just there for pen security. Which Brian should have had a penalty last week. So I was a bit annoyed when they should have had a penalty. Because then McAllister would have took it. And then me benching March for McAllister would have been justified. But Brighton didn't get the penalty because the refs are mockeries. And have no justice whatsoever, and they're just terrible. The Prem refs honestly are horrific. You watch the cup games, there's 5-7 yellow cards a game. You know what I mean? I'd say 5+ yellow cards a game, or 5 or more, and they're always justified yellow cards. When the Prem, they're not giving out yellow cards for good reasons. You know what I mean? I understand 5. I think there should be 5 yellow cards in every game than normally is. But I think some of the cards that get given out are ridiculous. Look at the cup games, the refs are crap. Look in the Prem, the refs are crap. The only time I see good refs is in the flipping Serie A, because they don't stand for no crap. They don't give cards out for no reason. You watch the Serie A Cup games, there was barely any cards. What was there, 2, maybe 3? United game, there was 8. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to have 8 cards in a game. And they're for silly stuff. Bruno got booked, daft. Anthony got booked, it was ridiculous. Flipping hell, Lamina got booked, and he's on their team, and that was stupidly with booking. I think it's just ridiculous the amount of times there's yellow cards that are unjustified at the minute. And the amount of times people get away with scissor tackles, it's doing my nutting. You can scissor tackle someone and 2-foot them, and wrap both your legs around, and possibly break their legs. It's not given as a foul, a yellow card, a red, nothing. But then someone can go slightly studs up, and they get a straight red for it. But then you've got these people who are wrapping both their legs around a player. You're dislocating bones, you're twisting bones, you're breaking bones, you could be seriously career injuring that player, and you're getting away with it. That is a mockery to football itself. And I just think it's ridiculous. It gets on my nerves as well. It absolutely pisses me off when people get away with stuff like that. That tackle on Martinez that put him out there for 3 months possibly. I reckon he'll be out for a good 2-3 months to end the season now. That tackle was a straight red in my opinion. It was a horrible tackle. It was unjustified. And then the ref let him get away with it. Oh yeah, it's a Man United player, He's going to get proper slammed 2-footed. Possible injury that's going to maybe even end his career, because he might have to have it surgerised. And he's probably going to be out to the end of the season. No yellow card, no red card, completely gets away with it scot-free. And then we have our player come off, a player like Shite Maguire, who comes on and scores an own goal. What is that about? What is that about? You know what I mean? Flipping gets injured, Maguire comes on, the defence was fine the whole game. Martinez comes off, it starts breaking. This is the problem. Martinez, Casemiro are key players in our team, in our defence. If we're missing those players, our defence is weak. We will concede a goal to anybody. Especially when they're putting 2 own goals in the flipping net within 10 minutes. Well, within 80 minutes of each other actually. Which I just think is ridiculous. I think it was less than 8 minutes, I think it was 7 or 6. And it's just ridiculous. I don't know what to say about it. As a United fan, I'm embarrassed when we were winning 2-0 off 2 banging goals by Sabitzer, and then that goes and happens. It's ridiculous. It really is pathetic, and it should not happen. It's an excuse to football. It's a mockery to football. The refs are horrific. Maguire was horrific. He needs to sod off and go to another club for 2 mil for all I care. Do you know what I mean? Malacia, yeah. That own goal, to be fairness, he's not scored anything horrific like that or made any bad mistakes like that the whole year. He's made one bad mistake this whole season, and I think he's getting very criticised for it. I think the own goal was silly, don't get me wrong, but do I think Malacia deserves all the stick he's getting for it? Not really. Do I think Maguire deserves it? Yeah, every goddamn right he deserves it, because he's horrific, he's a shocking player, and he doesn't even deserve to be called a Man United player. Never mind playing the team. I just think, yeah, screw him, sod him off. I don't care if you sell him for free or get him off on a free transfer. Just get him out my club, because I don't want him in. I just don't want him in. Do you know what? Fair play to Maguire. He has some good weeks, but he's been horrific this season. He keeps scoring own goals. He does daft decisions when he's in that defence. And I just don't think he fits our playstyle anymore. Like, last season, yeah, he scored a couple of own goals. You could forgive him because he was fitting the playstyle. And most games we were playing well. But then we got to the point where we were playing horrific. We went downhill last season when we started playing again. And I think that's the problem you're going to have this season. Maguire and all that are going to get put back in. The lot's going to be starting less. Malassia's going to be starting more. The defence is going to be shocking. We're going to concede more goals. It was horrific. There was no two ways about it. It was just horrific. And I think if we would have had Rashford that game, we would have put that game to bed 4-0. Without a doubt. If we would have had Rashford that game. But we didn't. That's the problem. We would have definitely put that game to bed. Without a doubt, we would have put that game to bed. But we're missing Rashford. It's one of those, innit? You miss Rashford, you know, it's one of those. I think we would have put that game to bed. But, yeah, it's one of them. It's just one of those things. You can't do anything about it. The game's over. But I kind of moaned about how crap the performance was, because I thought we were banging first half. Come second half, we went right downhill. I just don't know what was up with us. It turned into Liverpool all over again. Those own goals. It was just horrific. There's not much more to say, is there? Than what's going on. Because, if you think about it, right, when you've got two defenders, right, and the defenders come on just scoring an own goal, what is that about? What is that about? What is that about? What is it about? Anyway, talking of stuff anyway. Again, the Chelsea rotation at the minute's been ridiculous. Why Chilwell got benched the other day, I don't have two goddamn clues from Lampard. I think it was a daft decision. He's now out this week because he's got booked, which I think is ridiculous. I think he's out anyway. No, he's not out. Sorry, he's not out in the Premier League. No, because it would have said. So no, he's not out in the Premier League for that booking. He'll be out the next cup game for the booking. So he's out the Real Madrid game. That's right. But he'll probably get benched again in the Prem anyway. And I'm not playing him versus Brighton. So yeah. He's had one good week with me, which was the first week I had him when he was 1.5% owned. Everyone bought him in now, and it's ridiculous. What up, Alpo, bro? How are you doing? It's love to see you in here again, bro. I was just having a rant about how crap the flipping United game was yesterday. That second half has really ticked me off. It was an absolute mockery. They scored two own goals, and for Maguire to come on and just score an own goal was ridiculous. I just think it was terrible football from us, that second half. And do you know what? To score two own goals within 8 minutes of each other. I thought the Malacia one couldn't have been held, but the Maguire one, what was he doing? Yeah, what was he doing? Yeah, that game did suck, and I was fuming afterwards. I had no words for it. It was appalling, that second half. You know, we looked terrific. I looked like we were going to concede a goal, and I thought we would. But to concede two own goals, I would have rather us have lost and conceded 3 goals that they actually scored. Because for me, scoring own goals is horrific. I don't like own goals. Maguire's now marking while we was man mark. Yep, exactly. Yeah, it's down to a T. And I think that I got a bit ticked off because for me, Martinez was 2-footed. personally think Martinez was two-footed. A lot of people have their opinions, but for me, that tackle on Martinez was ridiculous. It was dangerous, and it was stupid. And he's injured now because of that. And I'm not happy about that whatsoever. Do I think the ref could have handed a red card in that situation, or went and looked at it? Yes, damn right I do. Because what annoys me, Alpo, and as a United fan, you're probably going to agree with me on this, right? I'm still going to go back to the same one, because that Casemiro red card from before still does my head in. Again, he goes in for the ball. Both players going in for it, the ball's in front. Studs tilt up as his foot's going in for the ball. Yep, I know, I've seen it. He's out. That's what I'm saying. So he's out for pretty much the end of the season, near enough. And he's gone in, studs slightly up, not deliberately, as his studs have gone up as he's gone for the ball. Casemiro gets a straight red. You've got Kyle Walker-Peters, you've got Wan-Bissaka who does it for us. You've got Carvajal, you've got Davies for Bayern Munich. I'm just naming a couple. You've got Diaz, right? They all scissor tackle. They all come two-footed and wrap their legs around players behind. Walker-Peters did it to Garnacho. Garnacho's out now. Walker-Peters gets away with it scot-free. No yellow, no red, no warning. Goddamn nothing. Both legs behind the player. Wrapped both his legs round his knees. That could have dislocated his knee, broke his knee, twisted his knee, done anything. Fortunately for us, it was a minor injury and he's out now for some weeks on crutches. But it wasn't as bad as we thought it was. But that could have been a really bad career-ending injury for someone of his age if that was really bad. And the refs are letting people get away scot-free with things like that. I think some of the yellows they give away is pathetic. I think football's a man's game at the end of the day. Football's a proper football game, girls' game, man's game, whatever. It's a strong, tough, competitive game. And you're giving away phony yellow cards 24/7 for tackles that are soft. And then when an actual tough tackle comes along, when someone's actually going in hard or wrapping their legs around players, you don't do anything about it. If I was a ref, I'd be going to Specsavers and getting my eyes checked. Because I am sat at a screen with glasses watching the goddamn game. And I can see clearer than half these refs. It does my head in. It was like ages ago in the Cup when Martinez got a penalty given against him. What was that about? Yeah, the ref did have a terrible time last night. It was ridiculous. And I think, do you know what? Yeah, I think I said it earlier. I think there was eight yellow cards as far as I was aware when I was watching it. I think there was 8. There was a load of yellow cards. Yeah, there was 8 yellow cards. And for me, one of theirs should have been a red. Yeah, I know. The yellow for Fernandez, Alpo, the main reason Fernandez got booked was because he was being a gobby little twat, as he always is. That was the main reason. I'll put it to you straight. I love Fernandez, right, as a player. I think he's a great captain. But sometimes I think he can just be a bit of an arse. And I love him as a player, but sometimes, you know what I mean, he has strops and he tantrums and he shouts at the ref and things like that, and that's what get players booked. For me, De Gea's been great this whole season, and I think he just had a little bit of an off game last night. I really think he had a bit of an off game. And I don't know what was up. I think we're missing Shaw as well. Missing Shaw made it even worse. Missing Rashford, we were missing quite a bit of goal threat, but to be honest, I thought Anthony, Bruno Fernandes and Martial yesterday were amazing up front. The goals by Sabitzer were great. I don't care what anyone else says. I thought the goals by Sabitzer were great. I give credit where credit is due, and I said at some point he was going to come away with some good scores Sabitzer, and I love him as a player. And I think when you've got Casemiro sitting in the middle to cover the 4 defenders, it allows you to play Bruno Fernandes on the left side, and then you've got Sabitzer running through the middle. It allows you to play those attacking players, because if we didn't have Casemiro sitting in that middle, it would not allow us to put Bruno Fernandes on that left side by the centre mids in the midfield. Because otherwise we'd be 2 attacking, we wouldn't have anyone defending defence. But Casemiro shuts down that whole midfield by himself. I thought he had a phenomenal game. No, for the back line is super shaky. I personally, for me, I think our defence was fine. It was solid as hell. The minute Maguire come on, it turned to crap. I don't judge Malacia for that own goal. Personally, I'm not annoyed about it. I am annoyed about it because we drawn. It did annoy me. But the thing that annoyed me the most was Maguire scoring one later, because we always sodding does it. I say it every time he plays. Oh, he's going to go and score an own goal or something daft. He always does it. I think Malacia, people need to stop being so harsh on him. Leave him be. I've had a little rant about him, but I think at the end of the day, that's the first big mistake he's made the whole season. And for me, I think he was a great buy. He's been a great player, and I think he just needs his confidence picking up a bit. That's all he needs as a young player, really, is his confidence picking up. And I say young because I think, what is he, 20 something? 23. And it's the same with Garnacho. It was the same with Garnacho before he was obviously injured for a bit now. Is people were expecting too much of him and then judging him when he makes mistakes, and it really annoys me. I think if someone making a mistake as a young player, all the fans should be really encouraging that young player, getting behind him. He makes a mistake, all good, get on with it, encourage him, because as a young player, he's going to grow. And if you keep encouraging him and putting that right mindset into young players like Garnacho and Pelisteri and people like that, and you giving them that right mindset, they're going to become really good players. But when you've got all these toxic fans who are just constantly whinging about them 24/7 on Twitter and posting racist comments to people and just being abusive, it does my neck in. I just think, why? Why do you have any enjoyment of doing that? That's a young player, He's nervous every game to go on that big stage. He's young. He's got all this money. He doesn't know what to do with it. You know what I mean? And the people just think football's money, but it's not that. They're a young age, right? They've got all this money, they've got all this fame, they've got all this, and actually it's stressful, and no one realises that. And then they go on the pitch week in, week out, and perform to the best of their ability. They make a little mistake, and then half these people who start slagging these football players off can't play football, don't have two clues half the time, take the absolute pee, and then actually it affects those players' minds. And it just makes them annoyed, and you don't understand how bad it is for a player to just constantly having all that aggro. When if you were constantly giving them positive and good vibes, they're going to grow to be a great player. And I think Garnacho is going to be one of those players. I see Garnacho as being one of the top next players like Messi and Ronaldo and Di Maria. I see him as being a phenomenal player and a phenomenal prospect in the future. And I think he's going to grow to be one of the best players we've ever had if he has the right treatment, the right fans behind him, and the right people in his corner. He's going to be a phenomenal player. He just needs to bounce back from this slight knockback when he comes back and starts hitting it straight on. Nail on the head. Honestly, it takes seconds to send a nigga to come, but years to take even to get play. Takes years to even get to play for us. Yeah, exactly. And I just don't. I think, don't get me wrong, if someone makes a mistake on TV on our team or anything stupid happens, I'll say, do you know what, you're a tosser, or I'll have a slight little rant about it. But you will never hear me directly posting anything anywhere or tweeting anything directly saying about a player because I don't think it's right. He will be given the number 7. He will. And do you know what? I hope he does. I hope he does because I think he's amazing. I just think he's amazing. There's not much more to say about him, but he's phenomenal. Pelisteri, the fact that Pelisteri doesn't get game time for me annoys me. He doesn't get enough game time. I think he should be starting games because if you look at them a couple of weeks ago and McTominay, right, Pelisteri comes straight on, football through, McTominay through, boom, Weghorst goal. The minute Pelisteri comes on, Weghorst scores because he offers that pace to get it straight through to players' feet. And I do think him and Garnacho are definitely some of the best wingers we've got. But we're talking more to FPL because this is an FPL stream. I've been talking about United enough. I'll give you my score predictions for this week, by the way, everyone. So, my score predictions for this week are Man City to beat Leicester 4-0. Do you think him and Pelisteri should see more games? Yeah, Iqbal was a great player. Zidane Iqbal was an amazing player. I predict Haaland and Grealish for Man City 4-0. I think Darwin and Salah, obviously I've got them in the team, but I think Leeds probably actually might take that game. I was going to go 2-1 Leeds, but what I'm going to say is I'm going to say 2-1 Liverpool for that Leeds game. Possibly 3-1 Liverpool. The McAllister, Matino and March, which I've got. The Chelsea game, I think Brighton will beat Chelsea 3-1. The Brentford game, I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. The Newcastle game, I think Newcastle are going to win 1-0. The Man United game, I back us to win 2-0, but if our defence is like it was yesterday, it's probably going to be 2-1. Because that second half was abysmal. And then Everton, and who's Everton got? Fulham. I predict Everton 1-0. Because I don't really think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Crystal Palace has Southampton. I'd back Crystal Palace to win that game 4-1, 3-1. I'd expect quite a few goals in that game. I reckon at least 4 goals in that game. There's some tough games this week for some teams. 4-0. I think Leicester will score. Chelsea ain't scored since restart. Yeah. Well done. Are you sure? Chelsea have scored since. Oh, you're on about the international break, ain't you? I was going to say, I thought you was on about the World Cup. I was like, what are you on about? Burstow named Premier League 2 Player of the Month of March. Oh. Are you in the Discord, by the way, Alpo? You're on the Discord, aren't you? If not, just join my Discord. I'll send you a link now in the chat to join my Discord. If you haven't already, because I always post when I'm going live in there, you see. So it's a lot easier to find me if you're in the Discord. Because I always literally put in there, literally a couple minutes before, or half an hour, whatever, before I go live, when I'm going live, what I'm doing. Obviously, I won't, 90% sure I ain't going to be doing a deadline stream tomorrow, so I'm surprised that Fabio and Slay and all that haven't got in here today, because there's not going to be a deadline stream tomorrow. Because I don't think I'm going to get on deadline tomorrow. Yeah, no, it's fine. It just gives you, I just tag everyone in it, so it gives like posts, obviously, with the Discord. I don't think, as far as I'm aware, that I'm going to be getting the deadline stream tomorrow, which is why I've done the deadline stream today. This is a team though currently. If anyone who's just joined is wondering what moves I've made this week, I've done Maddison and Rashford to Grealish and Salah for a -4, and I've got 2.1 in the bank. I was considering another -4 to bring Trent in for Chilwell, but I'm not going to do it. I was considering it though. Just to set me up even more for 32. It's kind of like an advanced -4, but yeah. Just joined why you make my Saturday mornings at work. Do you know what? I'll see. I don't know. I'm not promising I'm going to be on tomorrow for deadline, but if I can bag half an hour, let's say in the morning, maybe 10:30 or earlier than that, then I will. But I'll post in the Discord, Alpo, if I'm going to go live tomorrow. To be honest with you, I normally can get deadline. I just don't promise anything because there is sometimes to the point where I can't actually get on for deadline stream. But I will be in the Discord all morning tomorrow anyway, so that's fine. But I'll definitely put if I'm going live. By the way, boys, what anyone else in here, even if you're not a United fan, what did you lot think of the United game last night and the City Bayern Munich game and the Real Madrid Chelsea game? I'd love to hear everyone thinks of those games because I thought Chelsea got off lightly. I thought Real Madrid should have been 4-0 up that game at least, not 2-0. I think they should have won 4-0. But yeah, if I can get on for half an hour, even maybe more than that, maybe an hour, it's not so much when I'm up, Alpo. It's just it takes me a long time to set the streams up sometimes because you've got to remember, right, unless I get a chance to do the thumbnail tonight, I've got to sit and do a whole thumbnail, edit all that out. I've got to do all that for the deadline stream because I always have to make a thumbnail for it. I've got to do all that through GIMP. I've got to get all the editing set up. I've got to set all the microphone and that ready. Because on the deadline stream, bear in mind, every other stream of the week like today is basic. It doesn't take me long. It takes me like 5 minutes to set up. But sometimes the deadline stream can take me 40 minutes in advance to set up. So, depending on how early I'm up, depending on how long I'm on for, but sometimes I can be on deadline stream at 10 o'clock and then be on till 12:30, just sitting through and chatting. It solely depends on how much time I've got in the day and what times games are kicking off and things like that. I should definitely have a 3 PM stream tomorrow though. I usually have a 3 PM stream for definite where I do the games. But it's not hard. I'm not going to sit and say like this is hard work because it's not. It's just sometimes it takes me quite a while to do thumbnails because once you're editing it out and you're cutting images and you're developing image size and moving the pixels and overlapping images, it does take a good half an hour even to do one thumbnail. And nobody realises. Everyone just thinks, oh, okay, this is just YouTube and streaming, and it's. But I actually tried to put as much effort into it as I can. Because I actually enjoy this and I enjoy it for fun. I'm not here to make money. I'm not here to do anything big time. I'm just here to have fun, talk my football knowledge, and just have fun talking to you guys on a weekly basis. Like 4, 5, 6 people. I'm not bothered. I think, to be honest, small groups for me is a lot easier because I have more people to just kind of chill with, have nice conversations, talk about football, talk about FPL, nothing ridiculously serious and in depth, and just have fun talking about football. And I think a lot of people take this game way too seriously. Like, I've had top 1k finishes, top 250k, top 500k. But I don't take this game. I haven't took this this year ridiculously seriously. I have to get serious to the point where I want to help everyone get rank, and I want to try and get top 250k myself. But I think last year was really getting to the point where I had to constantly look at stats every week, look at details because I was top 1k, and it just gets a bit to the point where it gets overwhelming having to look at all the data every week and have to sort things out. I have enjoyed though, to be honest. Considering we've only started this channel this year, I have enjoyed it for this season, and I'm definitely going to be carrying on with it. Like I said, we've been doing this for what? Since the start of last start. So we do this for like, when was my first video? We do this for about 7.5 months ish. But normally there's a 3 PM stream, Alpo. How was your day been anyway, Alpo? You had a good day. You had a good week and all. Because my week's been decent. Just literally been watching the football most days when it's on. I'll watch the Grand National this week. Actually, yeah, that's a point thinking about it. Actually, Alpo, there might not be a 3 PM stream because I've just thought the Grand National is on at 3 o'clock, so I'll probably be watching the Grand National. So there probably won't be a 3 PM stream. Yeah, no, there won't be a 3 PM stream, I don't think, because I'll probably watch the Grand National. But I'll tell you what, if I don't do a 3 PM stream, I'll do a 5:30 stream for the 5:30 game for the City game. So there'll definitely be a stream in there somewhere, without a doubt. Just on a break. I'm back to work in a sec. Oh, okay. What do you do, Alpo? Just curious. I've applied for some jobs. I haven't got one yet. I've applied for some. Yeah, I'm in Discord. No notifications on. Great. Absolutely great. Yeah, I'm always posting there anyway. And honestly, any time of the day. Depending, are you UK time zone, Alpo? I'm assuming you're going to be UK time zone. I don't know what time zone you are, but I'm gonna enjoy, bro. Yep, have fun, Alpo, bro. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. Enjoy. Yeah, we'll have to see what's going on. Oh, you're in an off-license, it's in London. Oh, that's cool. That's cool, bro, that is. Like I said there, it's nice for you stopping by, bro, it's great. I love having people consistently coming in there because it's nice to have new faces in there, but when you've got those consistent, 5, 6 people coming in each stream, it's just nice. Obviously, Slaying that's been missing today for once. They're normally in there chatting my head off, but they've been missing a little bit today. I do enjoy it though. I do enjoy it. It's nice and relaxing. I watched Wrexham as well the other day, That penalty by Ben Foster, that save was absolutely incredible. I thought it was a banging save. It was a Yashin type save. I fully enjoyed it. Yeah, I should be fairly busy tomorrow, but not to the point where I probably won't be able to get streaming, like I said. The captain's on Haaland, by the way, boys. I will say now. Unless there's a doubt Haaland's going to play, and if there is a doubt Haaland's going to definitely start because obviously he's been playing midweek, then I'll captain Salah, but it's very doubtful. Haaland will start. Grealish will start because there's been like 5 days between. So the fact some people think Grealish won't start, I think is ridiculous. I think just start thinking more clearly if you ask me, because there's no way in hell Grealish ain't going to start. There's no reason for Grealish not to start. So I don't see why anyone thinks Grealish won't start. For me, I think it's mockery. But yeah, no. We will have to look into more depth in the week, on the more data as well. I'm quite sure Shaw's going to start this week, but I think there's 75% at the minute for his hamstring, and I do think he's going to start, which is why I've got him starting, because I think he will. To be honest, I prefer it to having double Newcastle because I just know Watkins could go and score. I am tempted to bench March and Watkins, but last time I did that, it went to pot. So I might bench McAllister. I'm going to play Watkins. I just think Darwin Núñez could literally bag versus Leeds. If Leeds' defence is like it was versus Crystal Palace, then I could change my 3-1 to a 6-1 bloody Liverpool because their defence was horrific. But yeah, no. Some people are trying to chat crap and say Mbappe is the best in the world. Mate, it's not even close. It's Messi. Ronaldo's not even up there in the top 10. Then it's probably Haaland. But if you're talking best of all time, Haaland's up there, top 10. I'd actually put Haaland over Ronaldo. Reason being, I just don't like Ronaldo. Even as a United fan, I loved Ronaldo back in the day, but to be honest, I just don't like his attitude. I don't like the way he's been behaving, and I don't like what he's been like. Being much this bit's doing. I could see Trent doing massive stuff versus Leeds, you know. Which is why I was considering bringing him in for Chilwell. Because that brings me an extra player early and I still get my free transfer, which could put me on like 11 players for the blank game week 32. So I'm trying to think it statistically speaking. It could be a good move. Because if I was to bring Trent in, right, the way I'm seeing it, I'm on a -8, but does the question for me is, right, does this -8 set me up well longer term? Yes, it does. Because if I go into 32, with that luck, I'll have a free transfer. So I could have 10 players. But then is it generally worth it? Because I'm just going to bring Trent in 32 for 9 players. Yeah, because I wouldn't want to get rid of any of those players actually contemplating it now. So I probably wouldn't bring Trent in for a -4 this week. Unless I wanted to do it so I'd have an extra transfer in 33. Then possibly. Because maybe I'd want Rashford back in 33. So maybe that extra transfer would prove viable. Yeah, it's a toss up really between what you're thinking. I do want Trent 32 without a doubt. Trent's coming in 32 for Chilwell. That move's already planned in my head. That's happening without a doubt. Trent Alexander-Arnold's coming in my team. I'll have 9 players next week. Most on free hit. I haven't got mine, but I'm happy with 9 players because I'll captain Salah. And I've got Trent and Núñez, so I've got 3 big players who could absolutely batter Forest. And I think Liverpool are at home as well, which makes it even sweeter. Like at Anfield, surely Salah and Darwin are going to pop off, and Trent's going to get a clean sheet and some assists. Surely. So those players alone could bag 40 points to me, plus the Salah captain, so maybe 50. And then you've got everything else going on in the team. So I don't see it being a bad week for me, really. In 32. As everyone predicts it's going to be a bad week, but I don't think it will be as bad as everyone thinks. I think it'll be a fairly mediocre week with about an average of 50, and I'm going to get about a 60-70 score. But we'll have to see. It's been a good one though, lads. I do think I am going to head off now, so I hope everyone has a good rest of your days. This is the final deadline. This is the final team. I'm locked in. Haaland capped. Botman. The only thing that could change is Watkins come on for a Brighton mid. Other than that, we're locked in. So I will see you boys probably tomorrow, but I'm unsure whether I'm going to be having a deadline stream It'll be a 3 p.m. or